System.
I'm calling it to law. I'm calling us to order. Roll call.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. It's not me, it's the technology.
Of course. I think this is one of those days where nothing works.
The whole screen is black. I'll just restart it.
I'm waiting for technology here.
It's not. Commissioner Meadows,
Here.
Commissioner Cohen, Commissioner Jackson,
Here.
Commissioner Noel, Commissioner Lane,
Here.
Councilmember Gashi Edwin, and Councilmember Watson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. First of all, the first thing on our agenda is an introduction from a guest who is not here yet. Other than that, how do you like the agenda?
I move we approve the agenda.
Maybe we can move that to whenever he
Yes,
arrives.
yes,
Okay.
Is there a second?
yes. Is there a
Sure, I'll
second? All in favor? Approval of the November minutes.
Those are all in that agenda packet.
Thank you.
Somebody want to,
Sure, I move that we adopt the minutes as written.
do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. Do people have any problems with it? I do.
Oh,
Are you looking at the right one?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Because the right one is November 12th.
No, I meant the right minutes, because there was some feedback and changes to it.
I think I'm looking at the right one. That's going to be one of my problems. On page 2, it says, under a ripple of Ann Arbor discussion, a ripple in Ann Arbor discussion, it says that I reported that I and other commissioners attended the Truth and Reconciliation event. I did not attend. I saw the presentation on video, and it did not include the reconciliation part, but included the video, but I did not attend.
So you just want your name out?
Yes.
Okay.
Should be out. Right.
Any other changes?
I have another change that I would really like to make. This has bothered me for a while, but today it bothered me more because there was an error in it, and there usually isn't. The title says, Meeting Minutes Final. And it's fine. It says final when it's not finalized. It's not finalized till we all vote to approve it.
Oh, where does it say that? On
So
top?
at the top of yeah.
And I think we can't do that. I don't like that because it's posted on as final, and if there are errors, we're sort of responsible for them because it looks final. Can you not put final in?
So when we post meeting minutes, typically what I do send to you all at the beginning is draft before it does said final. If no one responds back to that, besides your feedback or additional other people's feedback, and you don't respond, I still have to finalize the meeting minutes. So they can't just sit for months and draft.
Then you have to put a footnote that says, this will be finalized at the next meeting, which is
Oh, maybe
dated.
not finalized,
Huh?
maybe approved.
Approved.
Is there a way,
It has
maybe
not
a
been
better
approved.
process that maybe I can get feedback on the minutes quicker and so it can be finalized?
You
versus-
can't because
Do
you
you
don't.
have to list it as final? Does it have to say final on it? I know for ours.
When you guys are done submitting feedbacks
Yeah.
to it, yes.
So when you put it in the...
That should not be, I'm
If you-
sorry, because first of all, you only asked a couple of us, and it may be that somebody else
Well,
has a
no, I
problem.
just want to know what your instructions are as...
Right.
Yeah.
So meeting minutes typically are only reviewed by the chair and vice chair. That's why they only go to you and Judah to review. If there are changes additional commissioners make, for example, if you guys, when the agenda goes out and Leslie sends the minutes, and you do find changes, this is where those changes can be made. So then I can go back to those minutes, make those changes, and in today's meeting minutes, when you guys approve it, it will say approved with changes. But the final at the top has to say final.
Can you put a footnote on?
No, that's not how our system works.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, it's probably standard to multiple boards and commissions.
So It goes
fine.
to
I
chair and
don't-
vice chair, and
If
then
there are
But it
changes, then it
becomes
should change.
public.
Right, but with the new one, we'll get posted and we'll say
Correct.
with changes
correct.
after
Yes,
the meeting.
But anybody looking at this anytime before we have a
Right.
meeting, and now in this case, it's been 2 months,
Right.
can see faulty information and can hold us to it.
Well, that's why normally
Yeah.
after the meetings, I send out the meeting minutes for reviews and changes
Yeah.
by the
Right.
vice chair and the chair, so that if they see anything wrong in the minutes,
Yes.
or if they do, I usually get a response that says, here are the edits and changes
Yeah.
that need to go on the agenda
Right.
before it's
And
finalized.
theoretically, I don't even think you need to do that, so I appreciate that you do that.
Right, but again,
Yeah.
it kind of goes back
Yeah.
to what she's
I
saying as
know.
checking if there's
Yeah.
errors. So I do send an email out after
Yeah.
saying, here are the drafted
Right.
meeting minutes.
Right.
Please review and make any edits or changes.
Right.
Normally, if there is, I get feedback.
Right.
If there's not, then it stays as is. Now, it's kind of the responsibility of the leadership of the commission to tell me if something on the meeting minutes is wrong. And it can easily be fixed, edited, or changed. But if you don't say anything about them, it'll stay like that.
So where does it reside?
Chris?
Yeah. So I just want to say, like, so Legistar is like the record of everything we do on every board and commission. And if you go to Legistar right now for this meeting, it says agenda status draft because we just approved it. Minute status draft. So, and if you look at where it is in the calendar, it says minutes of this meeting obviously not available, and then if you look at last year for November, it says not available. So like in the actual record, nobody's gonna click to this meeting or to the November meeting and click minutes and think they're finalized, because they don't get finalized until we approve it. And I think the final is just the heading of the final is just the heading within the document.
Yes, that's a legislative.
It's a template, yeah.
Yes.
It's just a template.
This is a template.
But in terms of like in terms of like people navigating to the website to see what's happening with the commissions, if you go, it says, yeah, but it's not available.
But I have downloaded it before we voted on it. It does.
Right, but
from
like in the
legislature.
same way with council agendas and stuff, it'll say like final agenda, but that it might change minutes before the meeting. I mean, like it can change that day, even though it says final. So I think it's just a matter of the semantics on the form, really.
Okay.
I don't think it's.
It's not worth
Are there any other additional changes to the meeting minutes? So just removing Stan Ball's name.
And then just one little Scrivener's thing for mine.
Go ahead.
The last bit.
Yes.
The last sentence in the follow-up on outside group work. It says are all welcome, so all are welcome.
All are welcome.
Yes,
Thanks. I will edit that and say all are welcome. Thank you, Chris.
Just while we were there.
Wonderful. Okay.
Shall we vote?
Well, we got two who's first and seconds, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. All in favor? That's everybody. Okay. Complaints overview.
Okay, let's see. We had 3 complaints come in today from the same complainant, and it's being looked at.
Okay.
We've had a couple of inquiries too that we've handled
Inquiries,
about various.
but not complaints. Yeah. Yep.
Let me know how I can support on the complaints. So just let me know how I can support
Oh,
on the
okay,
complaint.
good.
Yep.
We got 3 today.
I'm here. Share them with me. I'm happy to help.
Thanks.
Okay, we have not met for 2 months, and so we're going to catch up on lots of odds and ends first. Starting with other groups. Fair Housing Center. At the last meeting in November, we talked about, a number of us, 4 of us, went to the breakfast, and that was very helpful. We got to meet the new head of Fair Housing of Southeast and Mid-Michigan, and we heard an interesting presentation by Michelle Adams, who is a professor of law at the University of Michigan. I started reading her book. Her book is large. I'm only about halfway through, but it's fabulous. It's very, very good. And for people who grew up in Detroit, did any of you grow up in Detroit? Is it just me? Or Detroit area? No?
I mean, I grew up in the Detroit area. I didn't grow up in
Well,
Ann
mine's
Arbor.
Detroit area too. But it's, it is, I remember it. It's interesting. And I remember not
What's it
knowing all
about?
the...
What's it about?
It's about, that's a good question. It's about, it started out as being about school segregation. And it is about how the Brown versus Board of Education doesn't work the same way as it worked in the South, because there's no, in Michigan, there was no law that said segregation was necessary, so it was not a legal issue. It was an issue that people moved to places that were all white or all black, and the courts would say that's because people preferred to live there, except that that's not exactly the case. And so this is dealing with those kinds of issues where segregation becomes not de jure, but becomes the way things are, and what can be done to open that up, what needs to be done. And I think she's making a very good argument. And I would love to hear her speak. Now, 4 of us have heard her speak because we were at that meeting. But I wondered if other people would also be interested. And she's local. She might be willing to speak to us, but I don't want to impose. But I'm wondering if you're even interested if it's, because it is an issue that is relevant to us.
Yeah, I don't think we should. She's a very busy person, and I
Yeah.
think there are other ways of accessing the information without imposing on her to come here and speak to a small group of people. That's my view.
I think the issue may be still in Ann Arbor, and it's still and no one's going to, not that many people are going to read all this book.
No, I mean,
But-
if we had a specific question for her that
That's
was
right.
relevant to
And
the
if it
work we're
came up,
doing, then I
we were
think
doing anything about it.
And maybe it will be, but
Yes. Anyway, I want you to know that is a point of thought, and if you're interested, let me know.
Quick question is, perhaps you may know, Vanessa, I know during the month of February,
Yes.
you have been sponsors of a ton of events, showcasing various things unique to Black history. They often publicize those events that are open to the public, and I was wondering if there's a way to find out if she is on the, I don't know if it's an agenda or a schedule or what, where she may be presenting.
Well, that's a good idea.
When I attended the annual fundraiser breakfast for Fair Housing, she mentioned then that she would be on staff as of January. And so, if not during the month of February, because she is on staff, perhaps there's an opportunity for the general public to get to, hear her or interact with her or even meet her. Very articulate, just a wonderful person I found her to be.
Yeah.
Very down to earth, just, and she wasn't cerebral, where, she was like talking over my head. And so I enjoy that about her. So just wondered if U of M has a schedule of events during Black History Month where she might be featured.
Yeah, I can look into that and send an email to you all. It would be at What's Happening at the U. It's like a
If she were
webpage.
doing it for the
Yep,
U.
and I can check if she's listed on there, and that's usually where they advertise events, but I do believe that there might be something more central, so let me just do a little bit of digging, and I can check on
The
that.
more central is probably the Observer. and we can check that.
Yeah, that,
It goes to print though,
yeah.
long before the actual time.
The what's happening would be
Well,
the
I've got
most.
a copy of the February Observer.
I do too. I
Yeah.
can look in there, so.
Yeah.
But I was thinking since Vanessa's, affiliated with U of M, she might have more direct
Yes.
access.
Yeah, the what's happening would be the one. I can
Okay.
I can just check
That
and
would be
look into it
helpful.
for you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people should see this. Okay. Housing Commission. In November, we heard the Housing Commission. And it seems, I think it was very well done. I think it was helpful. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody had a reason to call them about, was that you, Hannah?
With the complaint I
Yeah.
did? Yeah, but they couldn't help because her voucher wasn't through them. But the presentation did help me.
Okay.
I knew that. So.
Well, I wrote a thank you note. I thought it was very helpful. I have a copy of the PowerPoint. If anybody wants them, they can just let me know. Or maybe you want me to send them to everyone. But I thought it was a very good PowerPoint. And it was very nice of them to send it to me. Give it to me for you.
Well, I think you should share it with us.
Okay.
Or put it in the Google Doc file. That's really where it belongs. If we can get that up and running.
Maybe.
Because if I had a complaint, I would want to refer to it.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll send it to everybody, and then
Okay.
we'll figure out how to put it in the Google Doc. Community Reentry Coalition. This is something that Pam and I are going to, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I don't know that everybody is aware of why we care about reentry. Reentry has to do with people who've been in prison, who come back and have served their time and are trying to get back into things. And one of the biggest problems for people who are reentering is that they can't get housing because people make rules against having housing with anybody who asks about a felony. We talk a lot about the non-discrimination ordinance, but we've got another ordinance, the Fair Chance Housing Ordinance, which we also help to enforce. And that makes it easier for people for people to find housing in Ann Arbor even if they have a felony or a record of some sort. There's now a fairly big group of people who are dealing with reentry. They're putting out a newsletter once a quarter. And we put in it, they've got a copy of our flyer that is supposed to be posted in every real estate office. Is that what? I don't remember. I think it was supposed to be posted.
Oh, that when people are putting listings, they have to somehow include it with their application materials. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
That has the key items about what is in the Fair Chance Housing Ordinance. I sent you all a copy of that flyer, and you should know about it, and you can find the flyer on our website. Find both the flyer and the ordinance itself, right? Okay. And the fact that we put it in that newsletter means that it probably got out to, their mailing list has got at least 90 people. So we may be getting more complaints having to do with that, because that's not something that people necessarily know a lot about. And in fact, at one point we talked about meeting with landlords about it.
I think by now it's pretty much out there. I mean, but
Don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
But that is something I thought about. Meeting with the police chief. there are a lot of things that are going on, and most of them we can't talk about now because more information is coming. It's just sort of what they're thinking about now, and I think we're going to have more to talk about next week, or next month rather, when we meet with them again, or 2 months from now. However, one of the things that they are doing that we thought would be interesting for everybody to see is this resource guide for people who are homeless. When they're stopped, they get this resource guide.
It's attached in your agenda packet.
And yeah, okay. And it's actually, I think, would be very helpful for people. It talks about places to get housing, food, mental health resources, etc. And it's very user-friendly that the police are doing that. So I wanted to share that with you. One of the other things that they said was that they're starting to see the more people who are looking homeless, looking like they're roaming and don't have a place to go. More small thefts downtown, but less crime altogether. Anything else, Pam and Judah?
Well, the thing that I was impressed by was their dashboard. They have a
Oh, that's right.
dashboard available to the public that reports stops. It's broken down by all kinds of statistical categories, so anyone who wants to see what's going on can look. I don't have the URL off the top of my head, but I think you can just Google it, City of Ann Arbor Police dashboard.
That's right. That was very. That's good. That's going to be very interesting for us to look at, because discrepancies in handling police has always been a problem, and they're really trying to be transparent about it, what they're doing. Okay. City Council. Chris, what's going on?
So, two updates. Let's do the easiest one first. At our planning session in December, we got an outline of the administration's proposed essentially unarmed response program. I can send you the slides on it, but I am hesitant to. All right, I will, with the caveat that I believe there's going to be a coming resolution from council to decide how much of the plan they approve or they don't.
Sure.
It's similar to kind of what I've talked about in the past. The administration's main plan is to do this under the umbrella of the Supportive Connections program, and that's led by a social worker and city worker named Jonathan Lay.
Right.
And they propose a two-tiered response, where one would be social workers riding along with police in a co-response, and then a separate, completely non-police social work only response. Now, the difference between these two teams will be whether or not, or basically how serious an incident they respond to. So if there's a weapon, then that would have to go to the team with an officer and a social worker. If there's no weapon, if it's perhaps like a trespassing, or there's somebody sick or sleeping in the wrong place, that's where it can be kind of a social work only option. This will be a pilot program, so like a one or 2 year pilot, and we'll learn a lot from that in terms of what calls can be responded to, and that'll kind of influence what gets picked up down the line. I think there's a small chance that council might want to focus on that non-police portion first, so we'll see with some forthcoming resolution if the co-response piece is also included in the initial pilot. But they made the co-response piece. They made a really big point of saying this is not the police's program with social workers. It is actually the social work and supportive connections program. It's their program with sometimes police support, and that's consistent. They talked about where the administrator had visited. So I think Atlanta, Denver, some of the programs that they're modeling on, they all do offer a co-response model in addition to the separate unarmed response, social work only response. So this is more or less as promised. I think it's good news, and the only question is, whether people are comfortable using some of the money we set aside for that co-response piece, or whether that'll come out. So stay tuned on that.
Can I ask you a question on
just
that?
quickly. Yeah.
There was also a question about whether 911 are a separate number, because there are people who will always be reluctant to call 911. Was that addressed?
Yeah, that was addressed. I think, as I recall, I think that's just an ongoing discussion with the sheriff's department, because they do the dispatch, and we know there's one piece that we know people will always still call 911, so we'll have to have some ability to triage from 911, but in terms of like separate number, separate desk,
for people who want it.
I think that's ongoing. And I think
Okay.
I think there were positive signs in that direction,
Okay,
but I don't want to say for
thank
sure.
you.
Okay, and then Chair Stambaugh had asked briefly for an update. This past meeting, council passed a resolution reaffirming and expanding the City of Ann Arbor's policy regarding civil immigration enforcement and mitigating erratic lawless tactics with intentional city efforts. So that resolution reaffirmed a resolution that was already on the books from 2017 that prohibited city resources, funds, personnel to assist in civil immigration enforcement, and that's an important distinction. The civil immigration enforcement is what's been kind of the most controversial, and the city won't be participating in that without a judicial warrant, which is very rare in these cases because civil matters are ones that ICE is not bothering to get judicial warrants for in most cases. So the big thing is also to remember that they're not using city parking lots, essentially private city areas to assemble, mobilize, deploy vehicles, equipment, materials, related personnel for the purpose of carrying out immigration enforcement operations. They're going to look into whether we're able to ban masks. There's some things working through the courts with that. I think the state legislature may also take up something on that issue as well. So there's a provision to direct the attorney's office to look at a mask ban for law enforcement, and then a piece so that the city attorney gave some advice to residents on knowing their rights, and then there are some cards that the city clerk's office will have with printed versions of your rights, specifically what you do and do not have to do, especially when someone inquires about your immigration status. And those are available right now up at the city clerk's office. I imagine they might eventually be available also maybe at the front service desk, but I will maybe send to Leslie once I get it, like a little picture of what's on those cards, but then I'm sure, maybe we can get these to give people to hand out maybe for our next meeting here. I think they were just printed yesterday. So that's, there's binding stuff here, I think, in the resolution. I think it was a lot of what community asked for. There's certain, obviously, jurisdictional challenges that I think we're all going to feel that this doesn't go far enough, and it's too bad that I think, it is the FBI that has jurisdiction over, ICE and federal law enforcement, and not BHRC and not city departments. But I think the more we're doing to raise awareness, the more we're very clear that we're not going to be helping these lawless tactics. I think that's a step in the right direction. I think many council members, Councilman Gazia included, shared their personal experiences with ICE at the meetings, and it is a part of a long, dark history. And I think everyone from the mayor on down, everyone feels that and understands that. And I think this is a meaningful resolution with I think also the fact that we're not providing false confidence to people that we can step outside of what we're able to do, but I think it does make some certain things clear. So.
Thank you.
If you send it to me, I will send it to everybody.
Will do. Yeah, I'll send those too. So that, I'll send the rights and then the, well, actually, and the resolution text, that was probably good. And then
Yeah,
I'll also
that
send
would be
the slides that we got from Supportive Connections.
Yeah. Supportive Connection still only has 2 people, is that correct?
No, I believe they were budgeted, I think, 2 more people, and I think they did hire
Oh, good.
a couple more too. So yeah, they got, there was a state grant that actually Representative Morgan's office was very helpful in getting us, that funded the hiring of at least one or 2 more people.
That
So,
could be
yeah,
very,
staffing up.
very neat. I think I'll call them and just find out what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that something's going to happen.
Yeah. It's been a long time, so appreciate the
Yeah.
patience and understanding there.
Quick question, Chris. So the cards that are available covers just Ann Arbor, not the county?
Well, they're your federal rights, right?
Okay.
So yeah, they would,
So, okay.
yeah. I mean, they'd be applicable, but yeah, they're. I think they're mainly they're handed out from our office here. But like, yeah, I mean,
And so
they're
you think we
applicable
can
all federal.
access that like during business hours to get?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. And I'll try to see if maybe we can get them at that front desk, so you don't have to get the second floor, just the practical stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on city council that we ought to know about
Nope.
before we go on? Strategic plan. In 2024, we had a strategic plan. And we've done most of it, actually. There are 2 things left, and we're close to finishing those as well. One of them had to do with Brandon was going to help us put everything on a Google Drive or something, somewhere where we could amass our information. We're still working on that, but it looks like we're making progress on that, and Brandon actually did come up with something that we can use, whether it's probably not all we need, and it would be something that would continue happening. But there's still lots of things to iron out, but that's happening. The other thing that that we said we'd do is make a nice, what do they call it? It's for new orientation packet. Hannah, have you seen an orientation packet?
I think you did send it to me.
No, I'm the one who's working on it.
Yeah. So it didn't go to anybody
It
yet?
did. It went to everybody who,
Okay.
right, all the new people. It's now, I would call it not an orientation handbook, but just a Human Rights Commissioner's
Sort of a
handbook. Because
Yeah.
I'm just putting everything all the basics in one place. It's going to be, it's partly on Google Drive, but I was doing it in a Word document. Turns out it's hard to transfer a Word document into Google Drive without messing up the formatting.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in a Word document for now, and I'll send it to everybody. We'll put it in the Google Drive. It's editable at any time. We can add sections as we think of them. Vanessa did say she wanted to streamline some of it, but she hasn't done it yet to make it a little more user-friendly for the new people. I don't think that's necessary, but if she wants to work on it, that's great.
Yeah.
And that's where that is.
But I'd like to hear from the new people, and they're
I
not
don't know
here.
if you, well, I mean, I'll finish it. I'll
Yeah.
send it out to everybody. I mean, I could send it out tomorrow. I just keep thinking of things to add, but I can send it as it
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
Send as is.
yeah.
Sure, I'll send it
Yeah,
as
that
it
would
is.
be, it would be helpful.
I've got a table of contents, I've got a cover page, and it's about 30 pages long. A lot of it is just taking stuff that's on the website, putting it in sections with headings. It's just all in one place. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'd like you to think, since we're going to have another new person at some point soon, I hope, what you would have liked to have known
Sure.
in the first couple months that you didn't know, and that
Right.
maybe it still isn't in the stuff you're seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll
I'll
ask
make sure to review it before.
Rebecca that also, and Vanessa too.
Yeah.
'Cause-
The other thing that was on the list, which we never did, was having a kind of a complaint training session,
Oh, yeah,
which it's tricky because every complaint is so different.
right.
But theoretically, I could go back into the archives, take a few of the more, challenging ones, and we could go through them. But I don't know if it's useful or if it's just better to keep going as we are. But that was one of the things in the strategic plan.
Yeah. Something I saw today that I thought was an opportunity to think things through was, I was looking over the housing, I think it was the fair housing information that we got, and realized that they have a sort of a cute piece of paper with a lot of how do you know if it's discrimination. So it's just a piece they use. But if we had a file of, for example, housing problem information you might need, because we've got a number of different things. Housing is one of them. I don't know. I don't even know. Housing is a big one. But any kind of discrimination, there are a couple of things. We could make a little manual about what are some of the resources that are useful.
It's already kind of on our website a little bit.
Yeah.
And as people have things, they can put it in the Google Drive. It's more, I don't think we should reinvent the wheel. I think we need to just send people the resources that are out there, like Fair Housing Center and the laws that apply, and, our ordinance, which is really what we use.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Tabling report. And Vanessa is gone.
She'll be back in a second.
She'll be back soon, I think. She said she would. But we may leave before then because the next thing is election of officers, and we can't do that. We should wait for Vanessa
Are
for
the
that as well.
social work students still coming?
Excuse me?
Social work
Social work
students.
No, she
No.
sent an update saying
Oh.
that they
No.
canceled at the last.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see
Yes.
that.
So
You guys
we,
can still hold elections. Ma'am, were there any other people who?
No one contacted
Just the
me.
same
oh, then it doesn't matter, does it? I wanted Vanessa to be able to vote.
At least participate, right?
You still have a quorum, so.
Yeah, I think we should just do
Yeah,
it.
there's
Yeah,
fine.
5 is a
sure.
quorum.
Yep, okay.
Okay, Pam, I guess it's yours.
So, just procedurally, just in case, if there are any persons present who would like to nominate or be nominated for the positions of chair and vice chair, the nominations are open. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I nominate Leslie as chair.
And I
second.
nominate Judah.
And prior to the meeting, just to full transparency, both of those names had come forward for the positions stated, chair and vice chair. Okay, other than what has already occurred, are there any other comments or nominations? Okay, seeing none, nominations are now closed, and we will officially vote individually. So for the position of chair, Leslie Standby has been nominated, and
First and seconds, too.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so and so we would need to confirm that in the form of a motion.
Oh, I move that we re-elect for which year is this? Leslie as chair of the Human Rights Commission.
I will need a second.
Oh,
Was that you?
I can second.
Okay. Okay, any opposition? Any discussion? Okay, nomination is closed for nominating the chairperson. We will now call for a vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by the same sign? The motion carries.
Yay.
And now we will entertain a motion for the vice chair, and the name that has come forward is Judah Garber.
I move that we re-elect Judah Garber. as vice chair.
And we'll need a second.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right. A nomination for vice chair. I know it's formal, but I'm just making
No,
sure
it's
that
good, it's good.
So Judah has been nominated and seconded. No further discussion. And so with that, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed by the same sign? And the motion is carried.
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Welcome to
service.
elected office.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can go before Vanessa comes back.
So is the NAACP president not coming?
I guess not.
You've been stood
I
on.
know. What's going on?
And we were going to have somebody who was going to look at
Possibly applying
what,
for,
yeah,
to
was
join the
interested
commission,
in the commission.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same person?
No, it's a different
No, it's a
person.
different
So there are two people who didn't show up.
Okay.
And I was very good about telling them exactly how to do it too, so I don't understand.
Well, things happen.
Okay, are we
Things
done?
do happen.
Do we
Yeah.
have commissioner communications?
Yeah, that's right. Any communications that?
You just had the one that you sent us, which was, you and I are interested, but the others may be, which is the community reentry program. And then you sent me an email saying the next meeting is on the 24th.
Yes.
So the meeting that would have, it's a quarterly meeting, and the one that was scheduled was canceled due to weather.
Oh.
And so this is the rescheduled one.
Yeah.
And they do meet quarterly, and then there's a newsletter that comes out.
And where do they meet?
They meet at the
Learning
Learning
Resource
Center on
Center.
Washtenaw.
And who else
Sorry, what was the
goes?
date of the next one?
At the 24th.
Lots of
August.
people go.
February.
This
It
one.
was
Mhm.
really very
It's
full.
11:30. Mhm.
And what's their mission exactly? To help
They are
people?
all, there are a lot of different organizations that try to help with reentry.
lot of
That are
And so
assisting
it's
with
very,
this,
but it's,
yeah.
it's fascinating to see who they are,
Okay.
how we can work with, I mean, there were many that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, the focus of the first meeting was the universities that are assisting the individuals who are currently incarcerated, finishing their degrees,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Yes.
assisting them with employment once they are subsequently
good.
released.
Okay.
And that was super informative.
Yes.
I mean,
At what time on the 24th?
11:30 to 1
Oh, it's,
to, no, 11 to 1:30, I think.
oh, it's
Yeah, I
during
think
the
that's
day.
right.
Oh, okay.
But that was fascinating. Primarily Washtenaw Community College, but then I thought
I
there
think
were three
EMU
representatives.
too.
EMU was there. I thought there was a third one, but maybe not necessarily affiliated with the college. But they have a phenomenal system in place to give those who are currently still incarcerated all of the resources that they need to take classes, to complete their degree, to go on to other degrees if they need to.
They've done a
Yeah.
good job.
They- Yeah.
What was
just-
that program you said?
It's called Community Reentry.
Here I have it too.
And you said it was an EMU program?
Well, Eastern is involved in assisting these individuals.
Professor Stanley Tucker, he's the one leading it. He's
Yeah, just phenomenal. It's called the Reentry Coalition. And Eastern Washtenaw Community College, and there's a third entity, and I don't recall whom that is, but they are assisting those individuals in completing their education, and then once they are released, assisting them with employment or continuing their education. Yeah, so just, it was phenomenal.
Right. And
They
there are
also
cou-
give pizza too, so.
They do. And there are a couple groups that are, I think they're run by people who have reentered, and they're sort of self-help groups, support groups that are very good too. And that's an interesting, one of the things that's interesting also is that Michigan is now, in terms of recidivism rate, we have the lowest ever in the state of Michigan. But ours in Michigan is not low, it's fairly high. We're at 21% now. It was as high as, I think it was as high as 48%, something like that. It's pretty high. Washtenaw County, when they were reporting counties also, Washtenaw County was one of the worst. And I don't know why. They're not reporting, they haven't reported counties for a couple of years. But the last time they reported it, we were still probably 8 points higher than the state. And so we're trying to level that out. Reducing recidivism helps everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we done?
The state used to have a program that was defunded under the Snyder
Yeah.
regime. And I used to work with them when I worked for the county, and it was a very effective program,
Yeah.
which got defunded for reasons that escaped me.
Leslie, you and I were on a subcommittee, remember, and we were meeting, Kathy Wyatt was part of it, and we learned that. They used to
Yes.
have this phenomenal program, and it was like the best in the country.
That's right.
Not just in the state.
It was a great program.
And it got defunded, and we heard the answer to that was politics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I move we adjourn.
Yeah, I second.
Yeah.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
we do this in church at our pastor's
Thank you,
office.
everybody.
Always keep your mouth closed.